Hey kids, I'm Clayton Hanmer. I'm the illustrator of Dog vs. Ultra Dog, one of 2020 TD Summer Reading Club's recommended reads. And today, I'm going to show you how to make some crazy characters and then put them into some comics. Let's get started. I draw on this crazy big tablet that attaches to my computer, so whenever I draw my drawings, they go right into my computer through a wire. That way, I can send them off to my clients as quickly as possible. That doesn't mean you need a computer to draw. All you need is a piece of paper and some kind of drawing utensil, like a pencil or a marker or even a little crayon. Whatever you like to draw with, that's what you should use. So let's get started. First, I'm going to show you a few simple shapes you've probably seen before. Triangles, circles, squares, half circles, little rainbows, plus signs, little dots like this, little lines, little squiggles. Oh, what else could we do? Star, rectangles. What's this one? Or this one? Well, these are all shapes. And the best thing about shapes is that you can combine them all to create characters. That's one of the best ways to put characters together if you're having trouble drawing anything. So let's try doing a character with some of these shapes. And we'll do 3 at once. So let's start off with the square, and then the circle, and then the triangle. Okay, in the square, maybe we do some big circles for the eyes. I always like to start drawing with the eyes so I have an idea how the face is going to look. Maybe he has a little triangle nose and then a little rainbow mouth. Maybe I put some little happy cheek ends on there. Maybe he's a robot, so he's got this little antenna at the top. There's little blinks coming out of it. So he's a pretty happy robot. What else could we do to make him look even more happy? We could do these amazing little eyebrows up here. Maybe they're really thick. Let's make them thick. Oh yeah, he's a happy looking robot. And what about this circle here? The circle, maybe the circle is a bit of a sleepy character. So we could have the eyes like this. Maybe their cheeks come up a little bit because they're just a little bit sleepy. Oh, maybe they're a little nervous. And they could have a big, big nose, so just a little line like that. And then what would you do for a nervous mouth? Maybe a little dot like that. And then I'm going to put a cloud on its head. This crazy hair. Triangle. Maybe triangle is going to be super cool, so we'll put some shades on triangle here. And when I'm doing sunglasses, I like to do this squiggle in the sunglass. It's sort of like the reflection from the sun. And maybe he's just got like this cool mouth with his teeth here like this. And maybe he's got some legs. I'll do little rectangles down. I don't fill the end in yet till I figure out what kind of shoes I'm going to put on him. Maybe just some lines, really simple like this. And maybe he's on a skateboard. He's just cruising along. So I draw a skateboard. It looks kind of like a hot dog with 2 little circles on the bottom. And then I do these motion lines. It shows that the skateboard's going forward. Maybe this guy has this very big unibrow here, goes all the way across. Maybe he's sweating a little bit because it is hot out there. He's skateboarding along. What about this circle? What kind of body could this circle have? Let's see here. Maybe a little round body like that. And then you could even do little round legs and little boots on the bottom. You just draw them like that, just funny little sticks, little high heel boots. They're very tight. The legs look like they're squeezing into those little boots. Maybe the arms kind of blobby like this. Just a little round person. And then they have teeny little hands. They just use little sticks like this. Maybe they had too many donuts. They could also have a tuxedo on. So you just do a little bow tie here. So you do a circle in the middle and these two little circles on the side. And then this little bib thing, I don't know what it's called, but that's what you do when you want to draw a tuxedo. Put the little buttons in there. Maybe they're a little nervous. They're going to the ball and they forgot their cape. So let's give it to them. They're super nervous, round face, small boots person. Not really sure what's going on here. Maybe this person also has really big ears. Why not? And then this person here could be a robot. Because robots are people too, aren't they? And maybe he's got his tongue out because he's going to have a robot popsicle. And so I'm doing the robot arms. I like to do these articulated arms, kind of like a snake a little bit. And maybe he's holding this popsicle in his robot hand. I like to do robot hands like a U. I don't know why, it just looks like a robot hand then. There's the other robot arm. And then maybe just these two little sticks with little wheels on the bottom for his legs. And this popsicle, everyone here likes popsicles, right? It's melting a little bit. And maybe, you know, some of these popsicles have these funny little indents like that. So it looks a bit more like a popsicle, and he's really hungry. But he is a robot, and I don't know if robots should really have popsicles. So maybe I use these little lightning bolts up here because some of that popsicle is dripping on the robot and causing a few sparks. There's some drips coming down. Whenever I do drips, sometimes I do these little puddles here. So you can see the drips are starting to build up there on the ground below the robot. What else do robots have? Lots of buttons, right? So I need to do some buttons on his stomach here. Maybe a big one, a little one in the middle. There, pretty good robot. So we have a robot that loves popsicles. We have this nervous, fancy, funny hairdo person. And we have cool triangle. What do you think? Make a comic out of them? See what happens. So when I draw comics, I always start with a frame around the outside. You just fill your page with these little boxes and fill them in as you create your story. Okay, so I'm going to go back and look. So we have square-headed robot, a round-headed person, and a triangle-headed skateboarder. So maybe we start the comic with, what happens here? Maybe the round-headed person is going down the road. What do they look like? Here they go. See what happens. And they're like nervous, so they're just sort of walking and their hair's flying like this. There's their arms. And that funny little tuxedo. So they're walking down the street. Maybe they're going, maybe they have to get to the ball. Or what's a really fancy thing that's fun? To the wedding. Maybe they're going to a wedding. Or maybe they're going to the round headed award ceremony. Gotta get to the event. I'm late. And they're sweating because they're so late. Oh my goodness. Oh, and their ears. Can't forget their ears. It's the hairdresser awards because maybe this person's a hairdresser. Okay, so they're running. Oh, maybe they're running down the street and their hair is flying in the air like this. And they're really nervous. So how do we do that? We do the upside down U's. And they're running. Their funny little boots. Okay. And then maybe there's the triangle, the cool triangle. Just sort of skateboarding up. And he's like, hey, why the big rush? And then we go to our next frame. Make new frames here. Maybe we zoom in like on a movie. You know, you get to see their face up close. Like this. I'm so late. And they have those really excited marks. So whenever I draw a character that's excited, I put these little marks there. So then the triangle's like, how about you use my skateboard? I think we'll draw them together so we can see that they're talking. Here's the skateboard. Here's our character. Why don't you use my board? There. That's nice of him. Oh, thanks. But I don't think Hairdo has ever ridden a skateboard before. So let's see what happens. So we'll draw a triangle here. Whoa! He's giving the skateboard off. And here goes. Ah! Oh no! Oh! Oh my goodness. Here goes the nervous hairdresser. Ah! Ah! And whenever there's something crazy happening and you don't really know what's going on, I put these little exclamation marks above my character. So maybe the triangle's like, uh-oh, what did I do? So maybe there's a, uh-oh, what's happening? I think there's this big hill and a ramp at the bottom, just by coincidence. Unfortunately, that is where our hairdresser's headed. Here they go down the hill. Hold on. So I draw them really tiny. Whoa. Maybe their mouth's huge. Oh. Oh. And really fast speed lines. And down here, the robot. What's the robot look like again? Let's go back and look at him. Oh yeah, he's got wheels. Well, that's handy. So here's our robot, and he sees her coming. Ooh. Maybe he's like a safety robot, because this is the ocean here. Ah! And here's an arrow to show which way she's headed. Or he, I don't know. This person here is headed, and the robot's like, uh-oh. So I do a little bubble above its head. He says, uh-oh. What's he gonna do? What happens next? Well, maybe the robot, let's do, I'm going to do, this is a split screen here. So maybe what happens is the character goes off the ramp, but there's this big funny arm that comes up. But they don't really see it yet. So they're jumping off into the ocean. Their head's like up here because they're like, ah, and here's their mouth huge. Their tongue sticking out, and their ear, their arms. They're gonna get their tuxedo all wet, and the robot saves them by grabbing on somehow here. Let's see. See how to do it. It wraps around the body like this. Oh. Fortunately, the skateboard goes flying, because it's hard to hold onto a skateboard while you're being grabbed by a robot in midair. Oh. Oh, don't forget, more eyes out here, because this person's flying through the air. And yoink. That's the noise the robot arm makes when it saves our out of control character. And let's do our final frame. And the robot, let's see here, robot, and our happy person. Because they just got saved, and their tuxedo isn't ruined by a safety robot. A happy face like this. Don't forget his little antenna, his arm here, and maybe he's super excited here. He saved the day. His buttons on his tummy here. And then there's the nervous person. What does their face look like again? Maybe they're not nervous anymore, because they just got saved. So they have a great big smile. Those funny teeth. And their ears. Yay! Thanks. robot, the end. Although, what happened to the poor triangle? Maybe there's like one more frame of the triangle. This is a like conclusion or a post-conclusion frame. The poor triangle, he's up on the top of the cliff, and way out in the ocean, he sees his skateboard floating. Oh dear. Oh dear. Poor guy. Lost his skateboard. But you know what? Funny hairdo person is safe, and the robot saved the day, so that's all that matters. Triangle can always get a new skateboard. Thanks for joining me today, kids, to learn how to draw crazy characters and put your own comic together. Remember, you can visit the TD Summer Reading Club's ebook section all summer long. Don't forget to check out Dog vs. Ultra Dog. Have a great summer and keep drawing.